The Project, Kuwait. Learn, live. In today's episode, Mahdi and Meg discuss the Spartan Race. Oh, and what you two could do to prepare for. Oh, okay, that just sounds stupid. In today's episode, for the first 15 minutes, Mahdi and Meg discuss the Spartan Race, and they talk about all their different experiences ranging all the way from the United States to Kuwait, how each one had its unique differences. But most importantly, if you stick around to the last 15 minutes of this episode, you will get some solid information on how you can train for a Spartan race and be successful. Well, not win, but be very successful and be ready to do it. That's the whole point, is to get healthier and better. All this and more in today's episode. Welcome to the project.
Good to have you back.
I know, right? It's good to be back, dude. I've been jonesing a podcast the past week.
I've been playing with the headset a lot on my own.
Good. Can you teach me some things? Because obviously, I'm way off with everything these days.
I think all I've learned is I need a faster computer. It's brutal to watch things download on this thing.
Me and you both. I mean, mine's from 2009.
Yeah.
And I've always used my computer at work, so it's never really mattered.
Yeah.
And now it's dude, I got to upload episodes. I got to, it's not jiving. It's just not working these days.
That's great. Where were you, though? Fill everybody in.
Dubai. Me and my wife, Haya, she did her first Spartan race in Hatta, however it's pronounced. But it was amazing. Beautiful place. Amazing experience from start to finish. Organization could have used some work, but the actual course was pretty awesome.
Where is Hatta?
Close to Oman. I think it's half an hour away from Oman.
Okay.
So it's right in the mountain terrain. It's really beautiful. Going in there, it's amazing. Me and Haya stopped midway through the course and we're wow, it's amazing out here.
Just appreciate it.
Yeah. You have little chalet things set up on the cliffs. So it was pretty cool.
Nice. Did you guys stay there too then, or did you stay in Dubai?
No, we stayed in Dubai. My cousin lives there, so we stay at her house, which is always good. Cost effective.
Yeah, definitely. In Dubai, you need it. Yeah. So this was Haya's first race, and you guys did the super?
No, not yet. No way.
You did the sprint.
Yeah, we did the sprint.
Okay.
She's been training for about a month, maybe month and a half. She started with just 5K runs, and then with her coach, she was doing a lot of, sandbag carries, a lot of funny story. Sandbag carries, this was awesome. Yeah. This made me the proudest husband in the world. Okay. When you throw the blue sandbag on, which was for the elites, I guess, because it went 30, 40, 50 kilos. So I threw the 50 kilos up, or it was 50 pounds. It was 50 pounds. It was 50 pounds or something. So I threw that on my shoulder and I'm off. And Haya, they didn't have any of the female bags. Okay. So Haya grabbed one of the male bags and this guy's running behind her. No. The female bags. Yeah, you have the wrong. There's a woman coming up right now. And she looks at him. She goes, I can carry this.
She's I'm good.
Yeah. And she's sprinting down the hill. And this guy's trying to go fast.
That's
and I'm
hilarious.
wait a minute. I can't lose to that guy or my wife. So I just start sprinting down this hill. And then I'm going uphill. And it's mountainous terrain. So you're kind of running through gravel. And it was
careful.
Yeah. It was a lot different from the Kuwait race.
Yeah.
So going uphill, it was I can't put this bag down. Let me switch shoulders. And then it turned into a front carry. And then, and I got up the hill and I look back and there's my wife 20 feet behind me carrying the men's bag. And I was so proud of her.
Hey,
it was,
girl.
she was the bomb. And the rope climb, dude, she killed me on the rope climb. I do not know how. I swear to God, you know how you're supposed to hook your leg underneath, use it as a step?
Yeah.
I did that out of necessity. I basically almost fell off the rope when I got to the top. So I just tangled my leg up and I looked down and Haya's already off her rope. So whatever she did for training was
it worked.
It did.
It's hard because how high are the ropes there?
Maybe 10 feet.
Okay.
Maybe 10 feet, give or take. It wasn't that bad.
It really, because the ropes in most of the gyms here are pretty short.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. Yeah.
It was definitely shorter than the gym we usually talk about, but but it was definitely fun. It was a good experience. Organization I hate to say this, Kuwait was organized a lot better than Dubai.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked. Like maybe because we were one of the heats towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
We had started at, we were supposed to start at 1,
Okay.
but we couldn't find parking, which was a big issue. So we had to park, get into a shuttle bus. The shuttle bus took us to wherever, check in, all that. Then you get to the bags, and it was like chaos. It was absolute chaos. There was no organization to the baggage line. And, at the end, when we finished the race, people were literally just walking in and taking their bags, and that was it.
Oh, that's surprising.
No tickets, no nothing. Yeah. And there was no one was at there was no organization towards the stations. You know how like you'll have a person at the station?
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, you have to do your burpees.
Right.
There's no one there. You got to the wall climb. No one was there. And it sucked because people weren't doing their burpees. So
I'm more of like, there's a safety concern with that. And you're like, damn it, nobody's doing burpees.
Well, I mean, it's the whole timing thing. I'm at the end of the day, I want to finish at least top 10%.
Yeah.
Of the open sprint race and especially for my age group. Mm-hmm. So it kind of pisses me off when you see people that, I can't do this. I'm just going to run by it and that's it. It's like, dude, at least do a push up.
You're messing up my stats.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There, it's like, cause there was one wall thing. I couldn't do it. And it was the end of the day. Maybe I'm giving myself an excuse, but I got up like I was inches away from getting over the damn wall. But at the end of the rope, it was a chain for the last foot. Okay. So when you're all muddy, grabbing on a chain, I just slid off twice and did my burpees and went on. And, my cousin was like, why are you doing all your burpees? I was like, dude, part of the race, man.
Integrity.
I know.
That's why.
But he was doing his burpees too. So it was pretty cool. It was funny. We got to the monkey bars and he just looks at me and goes, no, I'm just doing burpees, man.
Monkey bars are always sucky at the Spartan races. They're shitty every year, I think, because they're really, really wide, like grip, but then also when you go to mud and everything, like, I don't know, I always fall off.
It's weird.
I never make the monkey bars.
It was so weird because they go, it's a weird staggered, like the first 2 bars were higher than the rest. So Haya couldn't even reach.
Get to the next one.
It was.
Yeah, most of them, if you're muddy and you got to jump up to it, like you're lucky to even hang on.
Yep. And it's just, it's like you said, there's so much space in between. It's kind of a swing and grab. And like, I almost fell like twice, but I was like, no, I'm doing this. So.
Yeah. I think the only other obstacle I ever had a really hard time with was the archery, like throw one, not the archery, but the spear throw.
The spear throw? That's awesome. Yeah.
I hated that one.
They had it, but all the spears were broken.
Yeah.
So
if you're at the end of the day, for sure.
It sucked because all the spears were broken. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, this really sucks.
So they just let you guys pass through that one?
No, I still threw a broken spear. I still threw it. I didn't do my burpees because I was like, screw this, it's a broken spear, but I'm gonna try anyways. So did that, and then it was kind of cool because my cousin, he was behind us at one point, and then he had caught up. So we got our photo jumping over the fire.
Nice.
All 3 of us together, which was amazing. And then the 4th guy we went with, apparently like he's never done anything in terms of like races or anything at all, and he finished the race. Nice. And my cousin's husband, Kimo, who's like, no, he probably called an Uber or something, joking around like he's not going to finish the race. And the guy came, he came down and he was pumped. Like it was awesome seeing him finish that race.
That's cool.
And it was cool because I looked at him and I go, did you do any of the obstacles? He said, yeah, man, I did one.
Yeah.
And I was like,
is he just did burpees at everything? Or?
No, I was like, what about the sandbag? He's like, no, man, I saw that shit. I just ran by.
Basically just did a 5K run. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. But you know what? You can't.
Good for him though. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't really blame him. And it was fun. It was a good experience. If I do it again, I would definitely do it. I do it in the morning. First thing in the morning.
I always sign up for the early heats on those. Yeah.
Best time. Yeah. And you get the most organization, I think. Towards the end of the day, everyone's dead and they're probably like, screw this, let's get out of here. But it was great. Where'd you do all of your Spartans?
I did my first one was in Nebraska, in Omaha, and I did that with friends of the gym. It was just a sprint one. That was a lot of fun. I was training CrossFit at that time and the obstacles were nice. Running is not my favorite, but it was nice. It was like the Spartan races are perfect because that 5K is broken up with an obstacle. So it's like you're not just running a 5K, which I would have hated. It's like you get time to do the, climbing and the tires and all that kind of stuff. But then when I moved out to Kuwait, It was I was only here for, I think I moved out here in May, and in October, one of the girls that I met at the gym, she had asked if I wanted to go to Spain for a Spartan race and to do the super one. And I was like, yeah. So we we geared up. We bought the Reebok Spartan shoes and everything that they had at that time. Neither of us wore those shoes one time before we ever actually went and did the Spartan race in
Oh
Spain, which was
wow.
a huge mistake. I don't think I ran until like maybe like a week before it.
Oh, so you didn't
Um,
even break the shoes in?
didn't even break the
Oh,
shoes in. No,
dude, that
I
is
know it's so
brutal.
stupid for like a 13K race. I was just like, yeah, it'll be fine. But no, it was beautiful. It was in the mountains. And it was outside of Barcelona. It was incredible. But we I was good at the uphill. She was a smoker, so she was terrible at it. So it was like the beginning, it was, me running uphill and then kind of waiting for her to catch up. And then at the end, it was the downhill stuff. And that was just killing me at that time. I think it was the shoes and my knees were bothering me at that time. But she was just like a little freaking mountain goat, like running down there. So it was like we kind of had our strong suits of the race, but we had a blast. I just remember, yeah, the sandbag one is brutal, I think, for a lot of people. I remember a girl just like crying, sitting at the top of the hill with the sandbag, and she just didn't want to go anymore. A lot of teams with that one. And that one's the volunteers, they're speaking in Spanish and things. So that was kind of interesting. It's like you don't really, I could pick up on a couple of things here and there, but it was really fun doing it in another country
That's awesome.
and seeing how it all went down. But we had epic plans for at the end of that race. We thought we were going to, enjoy all the events and, the partying and everything later that night. And we both were so broken at the end of that race. We were just like, stumbled into the back of a cab and just went home and showered
So
and laid in the hotel.
how'd you take care of your feet? That's
Yeah.
that's my main question.
Yeah, the rest of the time it was a lot of bandages and a lot of just like open shoes just to let my feet heal. But we didn't move pretty much the next day. I think we stayed pretty still and had to let the feet recover. Because after that, then I went on to Madrid and to Morocco. So I had like 2 other trips planned after that. But that was my first trip. Really anywhere. Like my first international trip was to Kuwait to move here, and then my first trip really to travel outside of that was to Spain. So I learned my lesson hard that time of take care of your feet. But those shoes now, I've wore those to a lot of outdoor events, not just Spartan races, but all kinds of other outdoor climbing stuff, and I still have them, and they're
Awesome.
killing it. Yeah, they're great. So that was a really fun race. And then the next one that I did was when Spartan was coming out here to Kuwait. We did a little 1/4 mile test run of it. So there's a group of us that went out.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, with the organizers, and we got to test run some of the events. And that, again, it was the sand bucket they had at this one. I think that we had to carry like on our shoulder.
I don't remember the sand bucket in Kuwait.
They took it out.
Oh,
We
really?
had bags actually for the event, but for the test run, the 1/4 mile, we had to do a sand bucket. We had brutal things like there was the tire drag was much more aggressive. Like to me, the 1/4 mile test run that we did was way harder than the actual race.
Why didn't they do that stuff? It's
the first time that an event like that has been here in
but it's
Kuwait.
the best part. Like that's the best part of
yeah.
the Spartan race
It
is
was
doing
hard.
that
We
stuff.
had buckets of water that we had to carry too. So you did it in teams of 3 for that one. I mean, it was a blast. It was a blast, but that one was rough. And then the actual Kuwait race, I really had no expectations with that one. I just kind of wanted to go to have fun, and I missed my event in the morning, or my heat in the morning. So I had to do it later in the afternoon, which ended up being great because I ran into 2 people that I hadn't seen in a really long time, and kind of running the race along with them. And one of them is like their first time really doing anything fitness wise in
That's
a
awesome.
long time. So it was really cool to be part of that. But I loved seeing members from all the other gyms that I've kind of like freelanced at and seeing people just giving it a try. Is that one? It's the A-frame wall, like getting up and over that. That one just kills a lot of people. And so I loved seeing like people pushing each other and helping each other. And I remember that one in Spain. My friend, she couldn't get up at the end. It was the very end of the race too. So it was like what you're saying, like your hands are slipping, you can't grab it. They had water running down that one too.
Oh wow!
So it was like extra slippy, and it's so funny. Like,
but here's the question. Sorry, did they have a chain at the end of the rope, or was it a rope all the way up?
I don't remember a chain.
A chain is just stupid.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Yeah.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It's I can't remember what was on. And I'm trying to remember even what the rope situation was for that one in Spain, but I just remember the water running down it, and I had gotten up to the top, and she was just trying and just could not get her footing. It was the very end. And so finally, like, we locked arms, and it was just like, in my mind, when I replay it, it's like a scene in like Saving Private Ryan or something. It's like life or death, like, I'm not going to let go of you, like kind of a thing. And just like, oh my God, it was brutal. But finally got her over the wall, and we finished the race and everything. But that was nice to see people doing the same kind of support here. But I think what worked really well, and it was a big like expat population I saw at the Spartan race too. Like when I got there, I was like, "There's so many white people." Where is everybody from? Where have you all been hiding out here?
That's so true. That is so true.
There's a lot of
You're
teachers,
right.
a lot of military and stuff. So that was cool. But local population, that participation, I was surprised to
I
see,
saw
and
a
it was
lot
great.
of locals.
And I
Yeah.
love to see all the different body types and shapes that were out there. And I think they did a good job up until the race of covering a couple people preparing for it.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are struggling, with weight issues and kind of followed their journey in preparing for it and then actually doing the race. I think they did a really good job. For Kuwait's first one, I thought it was great. It was easy, but the volunteers were awesome. I think they were very encouraging. I loved that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them to do it again. And
Are they going to do it again? I heard a
I hope
rumor.
so.
I heard a rumor they didn't want to do it because it was very disorganized. That's a rumor.
Oh, really?
That's a total
Really?
rumor. I'm gossiping. Like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everyone out
yeah.
there, I'm totally gossiping
Yeah.
right now. So if anyone has any info on it,
Yeah. Let us know.
Instagram us. Yeah, Instagram us
Send us a
at the
message.
Project Kuwait. Let us
I
us
do know
find
the
out.
guy who handles the Spartan Arabia out here, so maybe we could just get him on to clarify it. But
Ooh, that would be good.
yeah.
Can we get him on?
Yeah, he owes me a phone for my birthday.
A phone? Oh my God. Oh, that's-
Promise to my phone was I coming up to the race. We were trying to communicate, getting groups of together people to go out, and my phone was having some issues at that time. And he was like, "I'm buying you a new one for your birthday." He did wish me happy birthday, but he didn't get me a phone.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, happy birthday.
But no, yeah, Spartan races, they're a blast, and I like that the support that I think everybody just wants to see everybody finish
Mhm.
and do well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get people cheating on the burpees, I mean, it just it does when you look at like the standings and you want to know how you did in your age group. I never even really thought about it from that point, but yeah, because I don't think I ever checked my results
I'm
afterwards.
competitive as hell, dude.
Yeah.
I'm competitive as hell. So since we're talking about the Spartan race,
Yeah.
let's talk about how to prepare for the Spartan race because
Okay,
everyone
yeah.
prepares differently.
Yeah.
And I've seen people go way overboard.
Mm.
And I've also seen people like myself who are like, yeah, I'll do it the last week. I mean, I do CrossFit and I love to run.
Yeah.
Ever since I quit smoking, I mean, running is like, I'm like, oh my God, I have lungs now. So to break 30 minutes, a 5K in 30 minutes for me was huge last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do we, I mean, if I were to prepare, I'm going to prepare for the super in Oman. I think I'm going to do the super and the beast
Nice, yeah.
day, right after each other, back to back.
Yeah.
I think I'm crazy enough to do it. I might do it.
I
So
don't know, man.
I know, right? But the
That's-
beauty, like you said, is you're running like a kilometer,
and
and
you
then
get-
and then you're getting to stop
yeah.
and do whatever the obstacle is.
It's weird though, because I think about how I felt at the end of that race though, and it was like, and I look back and it's like, yes, I remember moments of stopping in the mountains there and being like, damn, this is beautiful, and I'm in Spain, and this is so cool, and like, this is fun, and after you get done doing like a physical feat, you feel really good. But then I also remember like, I think it was, the feet that wrecked me, but I remember getting at the end too, and it's like your body is just shaking, and you just get this like little banana afterwards, and you're just like, I don't know, you're full of mud and you're disgusting. And I was just like, I never want to do this again.
See,
and then it comes up and I'm like, yeah, I'll do another Spartan race. It's like, you have to remember at the end. I will have to say the Spain one was so funny at the end. Like when you're all covered in mud and the whole cleanup situation. In Kuwait, I don't think they had anything. I don't think they had like showers. There wasn't really any mud.
There was,
though, here for this
there
one.
wasn't it. Yeah.
Was there a lot of mud in Oman or at the Hata one?
Yeah.
Did they have a space for you guys to clean up?
They had showers
good.
that ran out of water.
Oh, shit.
And Haya comes out. She's like, there's no more water in the showers. And I'm like, all clean. And I'm like, oh, well, I got to shower.
Bummer.
Yeah,
In Spain, they had like basically just rows of like these like spigots and like a little hose that came out of it. And so you just kind of got to like, it was just a thing where you just
that
like
was
hose
kind of
down.
that was kind of like Dubai. That was
Oh my
kind of
God.
like what we had.
But it's, Europe and Spain. And so I'm like holding all of our stuff and my friend's out there showering, like rinsing off with everything. And I'm looking on either side of her and like everybody is just naked. Like, everyone just stripped down out there and she was just completely oblivious to all. Comes back to grab everything and I was like, turn around and look at what's going on out there. And she turns around, she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, your head was like right next to his butt. Like, absolutely hilarious. So that was one of the funny things about doing it in Spain. That was never my experience in the States or in Kuwait, obviously.
So how would we prepare? I mean,
to
for
prepare-
average Joe, let's go to, I always go to average Joe. You go from the athlete perspective. I'll go from average Joe.
I've done it from both perspectives. But
Oh, okay. Well, then there we go.
Yeah, I would say, well, number one is whatever shoes you're planning on wearing for the race, make sure you break those in and actually do some running in them.
Yeah.
Go for some uphill and some downhill because it's a totally different feel in the shoes and on your knees and on your feet. If I like going back and giving myself advice on it now, I would say, yeah, for sure, probably a lot more preparation just with my my joints of my knees and things like that, like a whole new knee prep
It's a big difference. It's a big
that was where I
difference.
felt it the most.
Yep.
Was everything, the low legs, just took a big hit on it.
And see, Haya thought I was crazy because the first time we went for our run, I was like, all right, just follow my lead. I threw it on, map my run. And I was looking for all like the baraha areas, like the sand areas where they had the little soccer pitches or whatever, or like all sand. I did not want to run on the road or on the sidewalk at all. I just wanted to run on sand. And she was like, why are we doing this? And I said, look, when we're there, we're running on sand. Yeah. We don't know what we're running on, but here it's different terrain. We're not getting used to it. And let's see how we fare.
How it goes. Yeah.
And thank God, I think it was a huge benefit to us when we went over there. Yeah. Because even though we have the walkway like right behind our house, I was running on the sand the entire time. Yeah. Regardless whether there was mud or whatever. Yeah. Sure. Like that's a big thing.
There's a spot maybe like 40 minutes out of town here where they used to do the North Face run. And that's some really different terrain. And I went out there, I don't even know if we made it a kilometer when we tried to run. It was rough. I've never done the North Face run, but that's a good spot. If you're looking at doing a longer Spartan, I would maybe make some time to go out there and there's some good rocks and stuff that you can kind of run and jump along. Yeah. That's a good thing. But I would for sure take care of your feet and your lower leg going into it. As far as like the obstacles go, like, I mean, you're going to be doing some beam walking, some balancing and things like that.
The beam walking was like, it was a walk in the park. Like I kind of laughed when I got to that. I was like, oh, this is a little break.
But it scares a lot of people if they aren't used to doing balance and stuff like that. So like my morning walks along the marina, I actually like it's not a rail, but like the little rock wall that's along there. Yep. I walk along that and it's just, I mean, it's wide enough that where I'm not like, too scared of falling, but like if the wind is blowing and things like that, like it's enough for me to actually have to like pay attention to like where my feet are striking, what I'm doing, and actually like catch myself in a balance. Like walking, I just kind of go on autopilot with, and you don't really have to think about what you're doing, but I'll walk along there and that's enough just to kind of get my balance on game for a day. So I would recommend doing some things like that, like just get up off the normal walking path and look for different ways to challenge yourself. So you want to do some balance training.
And if you see a big rock, pick that up and run with it for a little while. Yeah, that's what I usually do. If I see a rock,
or see how many different ways you can run across that rock, you know, or something like that. Like footwork, I would say just get really good with just different ways.
It makes a huge difference. And like run with stuff, like just picking up the rocks. Because Hey was like, "Why are you picking up a rock?" I was like, "You're gonna have a sandbag carry." Yeah, this mimics that sandbag carry somewhat, and it's good when you do train, sort of off the cuff when you're running to see whatever tools you see as you're running, try and pick them up and utilize
creative with your environment for sure.
Exactly.
A backpack with some water bottles in it, because that water's going to move around and things like that. Like that's going to give different vibes.
I went so wrong with that. I tried that.
Did you?
I did. And it was horrible. I had a little fanny pack where I could stick my water bottle in there. Okay. And it just, Hey looked at me and she goes, "That is not going to work." And I was like, "No, it will work. I'm going to hold on to this." Literally every 5 feet, the thing just flew out of my fanny pack.
No, not for the race, but I'm saying like training wise, like filling up like big water bottles.
Yeah, that was it. Even with training though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it turned into me just running with a water bottle.
It was a fanny pack, not a backpack.
But it was a little water bottle fanny pack. It was really cute,
So fashion over function.
I know. But it just kept falling out. And I would also say like get into the habit of running a kilometer, stopping, doing some burpees, jumping jacks,
break it up.
Step ups. Like
the run is really the rest.
Like it is. It really
it's kind of the resting periods. And as long as even if you're walking, you're still moving forward. You're still making progress. Whereas like at the obstacles, if you can't do it, you can't do it. And then it's burpees. So train your burpees.
Exactly.
That. But at least with the run, I mean, at least if you're walking, you're still making progress. You're still moving forward on it. But the obstacles, you're going to be crawling under things. So get comfortable down on the ground. You're going to be climbing over things. So
tire flips.
Yeah. Get comfortable climbing over stuff. Just heavy, strongman stuff is honestly the best type of training to do. It's just picking up stuff and carrying it for loads. Carrying stuff long distances.
And definitely get access to a rope if you can at any local gym. If you get access to a rope, use it and actually train with it. I did it once with like all upper body. I'm like, all right, I can get to the top. I'm done.
Yeah, but in a Spartan race, you got.
Hey was doing it like 6 times in a row, and I was like, all right, I'll be all right during the race. You know, and sure enough, it took me a half an hour to get up there. Yeah. Almost fall on the way down, and she's like sitting there. She's like, I've been down here for a while. I'm like, I know.
Yeah. So. I failed rope climbs at Spartan races before because of like they're just at the end of the race, and I'm just like, especially that super one that I struggled on the rope for sure with that because this was like now a couple hours into the race, and you're kind of hungry.
Is it still 30 burpees in the super?
I believe so. I believe it was.
That will suck.
It's been a few years now, but I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I remember the spear throw. I had to do I think 2 stations I had to do burpees at, and it was the spear throw. I don't remember what the other one. It might have been the rope. I know I got almost all the way to the top, but I don't know if I made it all the way up on that one because I was just fried. My legs were shaking, everything.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, I would say
13K with obstacles.
Strongman and CrossFit will definitely do a good job of preparing you, but there's a lot of skill, for some of the obstacles, but. If it's organized well and the volunteers are good, I mean, they have, options of ways that, or someone, may help you a little bit to kind of get you the feeling of it.
But if you have good overall strength and you exercise every once in a while, you should be fine. Yeah. The best takeaway I could give anyone out of all of this is if you have an upcoming race, I would say train the run and every kilometer, if you don't have access to anything, you're on a zero budget, you have nothing. Train the run, every kilometer stop and be creative with it.
Move
whether
body,
it's burpees, push-ups, sit-ups, step-ups if you have access to a bench while you're running.
Park bench.
Park benches are everywhere. Yeah, rock wall. If you see a wall, try and jump over it, climb it.
Just get really creative with your environment, I think. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to get in a lot of trouble, so jumping over walls.
And that's the thing is like and that's if you look at kids, they're the best at parkour people and kids, they're best at looking at the environment and how creative you can move around it and use it. But we get told, that's, you're not supposed to step on, the bench. You're not supposed to step on the bench. You're supposed to sit on it. You're not supposed to, lean up against things or jump on things. And it's.
And carb loading. You're the gut. You're the gut health person.
Yeah.
Everyone has this mixed interpretation of before they get into a race with the whole carb loading thing. Now, I used to think carb loading before a game, I'd mow down pasta. All my coaches were like,
had carbo feeds the day before, 2 days before race, day before race, and it was we had to have challenges on how many breadsticks and pieces of.
But how wrong was it? Just out of
God, I look back at it now and I'm just like, that's fucking terrible. That like how shitty did you feel? I felt like shit.
And we're going into the Spartan race. And we're, everyone's having a big breakfast. Like, carb loading. I'm like, dude, the guy that was with us, he was like, yeah, I'm getting McDonald's. And I'm like, yeah, dude, good luck taking a shit in the middle of the race.
Yeah.
Cause that's just like, you're playing with fire.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people still have that misconception of you have to load, even kids.
Yeah.
And coaches, when I was coaching baseball last year, after the game, the coach would be like, go get your carbs and make sure you eat plenty of pasta for tomorrow. You got, a double header. I'm like, you're going to feel like crap.
Yeah.
You're loading your body with a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
That's just going to weigh you down.
Yeah. I don't think it's not to fear the carbs, but definitely some better carbs than just like bread and pasta to load up for the sake of just having you can give your body better information and better energy than bread and pasta for sure before an event like that. And that's one of the things I think about even, collegiate swimming. It's like we would get done with races and, swim meets, and it's like on the bus on the way home, we get a pizza because it was, efficient, is fast food, you can get back on the bus and on the way back to school. But I just think this is how you feed your champions. This is bullshit.
I know, right?
We deserve way better.
So what would be the ideal menu leading up to
for
a
your
race?
body? I, maybe play around with some things, but I definitely didn't skip. I would eat some eggs, maybe like a banana or something in the morning. So I would make sure I basically just have some lean protein and some kind of carb.
Just be healthy.
Getting in. Yeah.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Don't
pick well. I limit my coffee. I don't drink coffee before those races.
Really?
Yeah. Because, just if you got to go to the bathroom and you're running and
it happened to me. It happened to me, dude. It happened to me. Dude, it happened to me. Me and my cousin's husband were running. We finished from the monkey bars and we're like, hey, you go ahead of us. She's like, where are you guys going? And we're like, there's a wall over there. We're going to pee.
Yeah, see, you guys can.
We're standing at the wall and everyone had to turn around. So as soon as they turn around, they're seeing me and him just peeing on a wall.
Yeah.
I didn't care. They had no bathrooms there. And look, if you're not going to provide bathrooms, then look, sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do what I got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do your business.
Well, you hear about those like marathon runners that'll just
I know. I've heard about that.
I'm like, that's I guess depends on what you're running for, but it's dedication.
Well, I didn't pee down my leg. that hasn't happened yet. It might happen. If I'm like in a serious enough company. No, that's never going to happen.
No. You hear about the double unders, people peeing themselves on the double unders, and they'll just keep going. That's happened in some high level CrossFit competitions.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, there was that picture of Ben Smith. When I don't know if you saw it, he was on the rower and there's just this puddle of sweat underneath him.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was pissing himself. Yeah. And like 3 days later or a day later, he posted something saying that was not pee underneath me. Because it did look like pee during the marathon row that they had this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a long one. Yeah.
But I'd say biggest takeaways for the average listener is you're going to train, run and stop. I'd say 1K. Get some strength work in.
Pick things up, put them down.
Pick things up, put them down. Find a rope. Try and get the rope climb down. And I don't know how people would mimic throwing a spear. Just throw a stick.
Shit.
Yeah, throw a stick at your wife. You'll be all right.
No. Yeah, I just think, just get creative and play. Like, honestly, if you've got kids, they're probably the best Spartan teachers that you can have. Like,
Yep.
Copy what your kids are doing. Run around and play with them at the park, and they'll crawl, they'll climb, they'll push, they'll pull.
Dude, the crawling thing, and anyone training, you must train for a crawl.
Yeah.
Get down.
I think just in life, everyone needs to train that one a little bit more.
Like, I'd never realized, like, I can't get that low. My butt sticks up, so the barbed wire kept sticking me in the butt, and it was horrible, dude. It's like, what if you have a big butt? If you naturally have a big butt, I don't have a big butt, but like, if you naturally have a big butt, you're screwed.
So on the barbed wire one for Spain, they had it high enough to where I could just like extend arms and legs out and just like roll throughout the whole thing. It was just in a straight line. So that's how I got through the barbed wire one. I didn't even crawl on that one. I just rolled through it. In Kuwait, I tried it, but then they had that whole uphill part at the end of that barbed wire one. That was brutal.
Was I copying you during the roll?
Maybe.
I saw someone rolling.
Someone to roll.
Dude, I saw someone rolling. So I started rolling. I'm like, I feel sick. I think I'm going to puke.
I got to
stop this shit.
Yeah. But it wasn't like long enough either. It wasn't wide enough to even do like rolls. But then they had that uphill part and that was brutal.
The Kuwait one stacked up pretty well against Hatta. It just didn't have the nice mountainous terrain and all that stuff.
The sites,
But I mean, it stacked up pretty well. The barbed wire in Kuwait was a lot harder.
Yeah, that was emotional. I would say that was tough. The race was pretty easy, but that part was emotional for me.
The Kuwait race, I'm pissed off at one thing.
What's that?
And I hope the guy that was running with me is not listening to this. Because he held me back.
Okay.
I was aiming to finish under 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I finished 49:40.
Okay.
And if I didn't wait for him during the tire carry, the barbed wire, the friggin' spear when he was doing the burpees.
Oh, damn him.
I know, dude. I know. I was so pissed. And I got out of the race.
You want to give him a shout out?
No. He knows who he is. I think everyone that was racing that day with that new me racing knows who I'm talking about. I feel bad, but whatever. What are you gonna do? But
that's great.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's it. I think that's a good wrap for the whole Spartan and how to prep for a Spartan.
I think definitely do one. Try them out. They're fun. They're really fun. There's any of those obstacle races. If it's not Spartan, get in on an obstacle race somewhere. I think it's a good way just to test your fitness. If you think you've got good strength, good endurance, go and test it in one of those events and just have fun. It's a great thing to do. And
if you have any specific questions, you could just DM us at the Project Kuwait on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or, find me or Meg on Instagram and shoot us a question. Like, if you need some technical support, like I've done 2, she's done 1 with bad shoes, and like she could give you the whole foot part.
The foot care.
I know, the foot care.
Put up in my next blog will be foot care for.
That is awesome, though.
Race.
That is so awesome.
That's brutal. Yeah.
I'm gonna play a joke on my cousin. I'm gonna be like, dude, you need to buy new shoes.
I heard that's the trick.
Yeah, it's a trick to the 10K, the 13K. Is you gotta buy new shoes. Don't wear them until the day of the race.
I feel like it's pretty common sense that you don't do that, but I just thought I could get by.
But no, seriously, like anyone that has any questions, shoot us. Shoot us in a message or whatever, and we'd be happy to help. And I'm sure Meg would be happy to train you too.
Yeah.
But I think that's a wrap for today. And
I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you guys had fun. That's cool.
It was awesome, dude. It was definitely awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you all guys in the next episode.
All right.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram at The Project Kuwait. Thank you, and join us next time.